In July of 1518, a woman named Frau Troffea stepped onto a street in Strasbourg and began to dance. This wasn't a dance of celebration. It was a frantic, uncontrollable jig. She danced for days, without stopping. Soon, a neighbor joined her, then another. Within a single week, over 30 people were caught in the grip of this same bizarre, irresistible urge. By the end of the month, the dancing plague had claimed more than 400 souls. They danced themselves to sheer exhaustion, to broken bones, to heart attacks, and even to death. The city officials, baffled and desperate, came up with a solution. They built a large wooden stage, hired musicians, and encouraged the afflicted to dance it out, hoping to burn off the hot blood they believed was the cause. It was a catastrophic failure. The music and the public stage only seemed to fuel the frenzy. For centuries, this bizarre episode was dismissed as simple mass hysteria, a footnote in the annals of strange history, or even a divine punishment. But what if the truth was something far more tangible, something hiding in plain sight, something toxic? To truly grasp the horror of the dancing plague, you have to understand the terror of the times. 16th century Strasbourg was a pressure cooker of misery. The entire region was reeling from a series of devastating famines. People were starving. On top of that, crippling diseases like smallpox and syphilis were running rampant. The air was thick with fear and superstition. This was a society steeped in a deep, almost suffocating religious culture. Misfortune wasn't just bad luck, it was a sign of divine wrath. And in this part of the world, there was a specific saint whose curse was feared above many others, Saint Vitus. The punishment he was believed to dish out for disrespect? An uncontrollable, madness-inducing dance. So, when people started dancing uncontrollably in the streets, the conclusion seemed obvious to them. It must be the curse of Saint Vitus. This context makes the authorities' actions, which seem completely insane to us today, feel almost logical from their perspective. If a saint has cursed you with dancing, perhaps the only way to appease him is to dance with even more fervor. It was a terrible, deadly misdiagnosis, born from a world of fear. But modern science offers a much more compelling theory, one that points not to the heavens, but to the dinner plate. The staple food for the majority of people in Strasbourg, especially the poor, was bread made from rye. And rye, when grown in damp, cool conditions, is susceptible to a particular type of fungus called ergot. Ergot is not just a simple mold. It produces a cocktail of potent, toxic alkaloids. One of these chemicals is lysergic acid, the precursor from which LSD is synthesized. If a large portion of the population was eating bread made from ergot-contaminated rye, it could lead to a widespread outbreak of a condition known as ergotism. The symptoms of convulsive ergotism are chillingly familiar. They include violent muscle spasms, twitching, and contortions that would look exactly like a wild, uncontrolled dance. It also causes vivid hallucinations, delirium, and a sensation of burning in the limbs, a symptom historically known as St. Anthony's fire. The timeline fits perfectly. The dancing plague erupted in July, right after a damp growing season, which would have been ideal for the ergot fungus to thrive. The victims were primarily the city's poor, the very people who would have been eating the cheapest, most likely contaminated bread, while the wealthy who ate wheat bread were largely unaffected. But poison alone might not be the complete answer. The human mind is an incredibly powerful, and sometimes frightening, force. We can't discount the immense psychological pressure these people were under. Imagine the state of someone already physically weakened by starvation and disease. Now, add the profound psychological stress of living in constant fear of famine, plague, and divine retribution. In this state of extreme physiological and psychological vulnerability, a phenomenon known as mass psychogenic illness or social contagion could have taken hold. This is when physical symptoms, with no organic cause, spread rapidly through a close-knit, anxious community. One person starts exhibiting symptoms, and the fear and belief that others will be afflicted makes it a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, it's highly likely that the true cause of the dancing plague wasn't a single factor, but a horrific synergy. The ergot poisoning provided the initial spark. It delivered the physical convulsions, the muscle spasms, and the terrifying hallucinations. It made their bodies move against their will. But the socio-religious panic, the deep-seated belief in the curse of St. Vitus, provided the script. It gave meaning to the madness. The poison made them twitch. Their culture told them they must dance. This perfect storm of biological poisoning and psychological terror created an outbreak unlike any other. So, what can this strange, centuries-old event teach us today? It's a powerful reminder that history's most bizarre moments often happen at the crossroads of environmental factors and human belief. It shows how a physical ailment can be shaped and amplified by the culture in which it appears. While we no longer live in fear of St. Vitus's dancing curse, the story of the 1518 plague is a chilling lesson in how collective stress, fear, and misinformation can manifest in startling and even physical ways within a society. It proves that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones we create together, born from a mix of what we eat and what we believe. Thank you for watching.
Now you know. If you want more videos like this, I've got you. Kindly leave a like and hit the subscribe button to see more amazing videos like this that satisfies your curiosity.